Good afternoon. Welcome to the Licensing and General Purposes Committee on Monday the 23rd of June 2025 at 2:30 Bexhill Town Hall. Just like to move to the two other councillors with me today are Councillor Delaney and Councillor Field. I'm Councillor Stanger. Should we move to item 1, Louise?
Thank you, Chair. The first item on the agenda is to, sorry, Councillor, the first item on the agenda is to appoint Chair of the committee. Do I have your nominations?
Propose Councillor Stanger.
Yeah, proposing Councillor Stanger.
Councillor Stanger, your Chair, thank you.
Thank you, colleagues. We move on to item 2, the minutes from the last meeting. Do we have a correct record from the 14th of May 2025?
Agreed.
Agreed. Thank you. And we move on to item 3. Apologies for absence. I don't think there is any, but...
No, there are none, Chair.
Thank you. Item 4. Any disclosures of interests or dispensations to receive any disclosures by members or any disclosure of pecuniary interest or other registrable interest or non-registrable interest in the matters on the agenda and the nature of any interest and details of any dispensations obtained. Members are reminded of the need to repeat their declaration immediately prior to the commencement of the item in question.
None, Chair.
None. No interests or dispensations. There we are. And on to item 5, which is application for the review of a premises licence number 16405, Western Road Store, 13 Western Road, Bexhill-on-Sea, East Sussex, TM33, OEN. And we are going to move now on to going to go into private session. So we're going to ask any press or public to leave. The following items are include material which is exempt from publication by virtue of Part 2. Is it Part 2? Yeah, Part 2 of the Schedule 12A of the Local Government Act 1972, as amended. It is recommended that the press and public be excluded. The relevant paragraph of Schedule 12A indicating the nature of the exempt information is paragraph 2, information which is likely to reveal the identity of an individual. In all circumstances of each case, it is considered that the public interest in maintaining the exemption outweighs the public interest in disclosing the information. So we're moving anyone that's a member of the public or a press. No one here. That's fine. So we're just going to pause the recording. Yeah, welcome back. We're now back into public session. This is the premises review session for Western Road Store, 23rd of June 2025. The review decision. We have listened carefully to all the submissions and we are bound to be directed by the principal licensing objectives and material considerations of prevention of crime and disorder, public safety, prevention of public nuisance and protection of children from harm. On balance, the panel accepts the evidence provided and has agreed to restrict the licence as follows. The following agreed conditions to be imposed on the licence. Number 1, the licence holder must carry out the relevant right to work checks for any prospective employees before commencing employment. This includes anyone on a trial. Condition 2, the licence holder must retain copies of documents as a result of conducting checks relating to the right to work. These must be stored securely at the premises. I think that's got a typo there. Yeah, and a digital copy must be immediately accessible from the premises for ease of the inspection by immigration officials or the relevant officers. Condition 3, authorised staff employed by Sussex Police and Rother District Council in the role of licensing officer shall have the right to access to the licensed premises during hours of operation for the purpose of inspection of the premises and premises records in order to ensure the promotion of the licensing objectives. Condition 4, the licence holder or any person appearing to represent the licence holder must be able to produce without delay documents relating to the right to work at the request of an immigration officer and or relevant officers. Mr. Dowich, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, shall not be permitted to take part in the management or the operation of the premises. Condition 6, all staff must be easily identifiable by way of either branded uniform or name badge. The reasons for this decision. So reason number 1, the panel listened to the representations of the parties and having considered the agreed conditions, consider the imposition of these conditions to be an acceptable resolution to this review. Reason 2, the panel was mindful that should there be any further issues, it was open to the Home Office to bring a further review in the future. A copy of the panel's decision will be publicly available to all parties and published on the Council's website in due course. I just need to read the right of appeal. Under the provisions of Section 181 and Schedule 5 of the Licensing Act 2003, there's a right to appeal against a decision of the Licensing Committee if you are aggrieved at the outcome. This right of appeal extends to the applicant in the case of the refusal or restrictions on the licence or the imposition of conditions to the licence. The right of appeal also extends to persons who have made representations where the licence has been granted or the relevant conditions have not been imposed upon the licence. Full details of all rights of appeal can be found within Schedule 5 of the Act. Any appeal should be made to the Magistrates Court, Edward Street, Brighton, within 21 days from the date of notification of the decision. You must contact the Magistrates Court to establish the formal process for the appeal and the fees for doing so. That concludes this panel today. Thank you very much for everyone coming. Thank you.